Welcome back, everyone. We are live on Facebook now, so I want to say hi to everybody out there. Like us and follow us. The last caller called in, so we couldn't do that then, but now we are. And my next guest, who's been on with me once before, and one day I'm going to get him to have his own radio show too. I have with me Darrell Mestaz, and he is...
You missed that, Carol. It's Darrell Williams. Mestaz is my partner.
I'm sorry. Darrell, see? You can't do that with him. I did. So Darrell Williams... And you are co-partners with your firm. Tell everybody first a little bit about yourself, and I want to talk to you a little bit about, because I just heard that you came back from New York recently doing a trial there. Let's talk a little bit about you and your firm and what you did in New York.
Okay, I am a commercial trial lawyer. People always say, "What is that?" And I say, "Well, it's anything to except what real people want to know about. I mean, it's contract law, it is corporate law, it is disputes between companies, it is securities law, it is business fraud cases, that sort of thing. I don't do domestic relations, I don't do personal injury, I don't do adoptions, I don't do criminal work. I simply do things involving business transactions that have gone awry."
Well, and first time you were on, you were talking a little bit about yourself, and you got calls directly to you because there's a lot of businesses out there that they get in trouble. Something happens where they either get sued or they get sued by someone. And I think, what do you find most? Or is it equal, where people get sued by something that they've done maybe, or when a dissolution of a business happens?
Well, in the personal injury world, you have plaintiffs, lawyers, and defense lawyers. The defense lawyers typically represent insurance companies. The plaintiffs' lawyers typically represent people who have an injury claim of some sort. In the commercial world, there are not plaintiffs and defense lawyers. It just depends on who gets sued first, because typically there are claims and counterclaims, and I will sometimes be representing someone who has sued, or sometimes be representing someone who is doing the suing.
Well, you've been doing this for 43 years.
43 years I've done this. I've tried like 150 jury trials. When I go to the courtroom, I know where to stand.
And what you say about your office, and I love this when you talk about this the first time that I heard it, was that your office works on the cutting edge of things. And can you explain that?
Absolutely. If you do not use technology to present your case in the courtroom, then I believe you're committing malpractice. I say this because when I began practicing the law in the mid-1970s, we didn't have computers, nothing was shown up on a screen. You gave a jury member a contract, they actually read it. Today, people do not read. They're used to sort of an instant demonstration of what you're talking about, and so we use computers in the courtroom to display the exhibits. We can blow them up, we can highlight them, we can make it so that it is like an educational experience the jury expect to have.
Now, you do a free look-see, is what you call it. And would you tell them what that means?
Free look-see is, if you think you've got a problem that I can help you with, I will look at it for free. I will assess it, tell you if I think you have a claim. I will give you an estimate of what's it going to cost. If you decide that you do not want to hire me, then you don't owe me anything. It's a free look-see. And in order to do that, I need documents from the client, so I usually get those in advance of a meeting with them. I study those documents, I sit down, I show them, and the documents will be on my computer system so that when we sit and have a meeting, we go through how they will be presented in the courtroom, and I give them my analysis of the case.
Now, you're located at 24th Street and Lincoln, but you work nationwide.
I do.
And thus, as we were talking about that brings it back full circle to where we started, which you just got back from New York. But let me give out some information. And listen, guys, this is what I love about my show. I've been saying this for the last, I don't know how many years. It's information for you guys. And it might be something that someone you know that might be dealing with an issue at the business that they own or not own or are at. That might be something happening there. Maybe there's a dissolution that could be happening where somebody got a divorce and now they have to figure out how to split that to split the business. Is that correct? Or a partnership?
Well, usually in a divorce, the divorce court takes care of the split of the business.
So it's more of just like two people who got into business together.
I had a guy from Sierra Vista call me a week ago, and he was a 50% partner with someone else. And they wanted to know how to split this business because their relationship had deteriorated to the part where they couldn't work together anymore. And there are ways to do that. And so I am helping him with that.
Sure. Now, his phone number is 602-256-9400. You got to check him out on his website. It's Williams Mestaz, and it's MESTAZ.com.
That is correct. And if you go to that website, you will be able to see the sorts of technology that we use that give us this advantage that other firms do not have.
Check it out. It's Williams Mestaz, MESTAZ.com. You can also call them. They're going to do a free look-see consultation. It's a 1-hour consultation that you get at 602-256-9400. So you just got back from New York, I hear, doing a trial.
Yes, I had a trial back there. I have a local client here who sells airplanes. He sold an airplane to someone in New York. The plaintiff in New York, when he got the airplane, thought there were problems with it, and he sued my client for over $100,000. 6 different counts, over $100,000. Who do you have represent you in a lawsuit in New York? Well, you can just look for a lawyer there, or you can come see me, and I'll do it. So I went back to New York to try this case on what turned out to be a defective warranty case on the engine of this aircraft.
So it fell back onto the person that made the engine.
No. My client was the seller of the airplane and had warrantied the engine for the first year or 300 hours, and he got sued for breach of warranty, and, well, the plaintiff lost.
Well, I'll tell you, it's pretty interesting. And, you know, I've had attorneys on, but I never have ever had an attorney such as yourself. And it's but it's great, first of all, as the information that you can give to people out there that might be listening to this, that might say, you know what, I have an issue that I need to talk to somebody who knows what they can do for me. And it's, someone like you.
Sure. And if you have tried 150 jury trials, you have this wellspring of experience that enables you to assess whether or not someone's got a case. Because what you have to do is say, how is the jury going to react to this factual scenario? And you can do that at the front end. You develop the theme for your case, and that's what you pursue. And you win or lose based upon the theory and the presentation of your case.
Well, we also want you to understand that it's not just a slip and falls here. We're not talking about that right now. These are big cases, especially with businesses, but it doesn't have to be a big business. It can be a small business.
No. This case back in New York, by the time we got it whittled down to the necessary elements, it went from a $100,000 plus case. We got it down to $4,000. Now, do you try a case for $4,000? Typically, no. But my client was not going to have advantage taken of him because the aviation sales world is a very small world. And if they know that you're an easy mark for a lawsuit and you'll get money out of them, then, well, you're going to be sued a lot more.
Well, you want to have somebody with experience behind you, and that is exactly what he has. 43 years of experience. He's going to do a free look-see. It's a 1-hour consultation that he will do. Write this number down. You never know when you're going to need it, or give it to somebody that might be dealing with something, or if you yourself are. The number is area code 602-256-9400. He works nationwide, and we're going to go to a break soon, but when we come back, I want to talk further. But real quickly, if you could say it fast, what's the difference between doing, let's say, trial work here as opposed to out of state?
Once you get into the courtroom, it is the same. There is a judge, there's an opposing counsel, and there's a jury in the box. And so your capability, the art of persuasion is exactly the same. Before you get there are different procedural requirements, and that's the difficulty. Getting into the courtroom, once you're there, you're in a familiar ballpark.
If you're being sued from somebody out of state, he's the person to call. The number is area code 602-256-9400. You got to check him out on his website. It's Williams Mestaz, MESTAZ.com. And we're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk further. Great information. Just love hearing a little bit about stories, too. People love that, too. Other things that I want to go through with you about yourself. Again, you could check him out on his website. It's Williams Mestaz, MESTAZ.com. He can help anyone from anywhere. The number to call is 602-256-9400. Hang tight. We'll be back in just a minute. Welcome back, everyone. We're still live on Facebook, and we are talking with Darrell Williams. And we've been talking a little bit at the break about some of the different cases that you've done, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. I want to ask you a question that I'm looking at from the last time that you were on, and I'm not sure I posed it this way, and now that I'm looking at it, I think this is a great question, okay? Do you think the lawyer matters when it comes to winning in the court?
The lawyer is almost everything in the courtroom. You see, the client sits at counsel table and doesn't really say anything until they get on the witness stand, but the lawyer is always up and talking. And so the jury is watching the lawyer. The lawyer is the actor on the stage in the courtroom, and make no mistake, this is a play. The lawyer, if he does not have a feel for the courtroom, doesn't react to the jury correctly, doesn't have the right personality, the client has a hard time winning, because the lawyer is with whom the jury identifies.
Well, he's a commercial trial lawyer, and this is, if you need someone like this, he's the man you want to call. And I'm telling you right now, this is something that I think that is awesome, because you get to talk about yourself here, right? And if you are an attorney that doesn't feel the way that you do, why would you want to call them, right?
Well, there are lots of lawyers that you see, I've been practicing for 43 years. I know lawyers who, at 35 years, were telling me they're tired of it. They don't want to do it anymore. They can't stand the stress of going to the courtroom because it eats them up inside. Well, it doesn't eat me up. I would rather be in the courtroom in front of the jury than sitting in my office getting ready to go there. I would rather be interviewing the witnesses and getting them ready, because you have to prepare your witnesses. We call that horse shedding your witnesses so that they don't step into it. They're landmines out there.
So everyone's laughing because, as he said it, you started talking and my eyes went real big, because we don't want to say those words, but you put it perfectly. I love that. That's another thing I need to write down that you said. That's the second thing that I have to write down and have with me. So here's the thing about Darrell, is that he's passionate about what he does, and I think you're going to keep on going for a very long time.
Yeah.
You could check it out on their website. It's Williams Mestaz, MESTAZ.com. And I also want you to say, too, again, for anyone that didn't hear, about how you prepare yourself in the court and how you are on the cutting edge.
You know, for a couple of years, I was an adjunct professor of law at ASU, teaching how to prepare trials, how to use computer technology to advance your case and then present it. And it was disappointing to me, because the students had no conception of what goes on in the courtroom, but more importantly, after they graduated, they went to, in many cases, very large law firms where the guys who are trying the cases are my age. They've been out 30 or 40 years, and they don't use the computers. And so the newbies, the baby lawyers, as I call them, were not able to do what they needed to do to present the case. So if you don't have someone who prepares, has it together, can run the computers in the courtroom themselves, then you are in trouble.
The number to call is area code 602-256-9400. It's Williams Mestaz, Mestaz.com. I think he got a call while he was right on the air with me here. So let me go. Oh, he's showing me a picture. He wanted to show me what it is that he does, and that's awesome. What we're going to do, we'll try and get this posted for you is what we're going to do.
Well, okay, what this is a picture of the court in New York. Where I was in. So this is where and you can see the computers set up on counsel table. You can see the computer screen at the witness table. You can see the computer screen where the judge is sitting. And what do you suppose the judge was looking at during the trial?
The computer.
He's looking at, because I'm manipulating the document, I'm blowing it up, I'm highlighting it, I'm making sure that his eye is focused on what I want him and the jury to hear and understand.
The number to call is 602-256-9400. You never know when you might need this, and you might listen to this right now say, I got to call this guy right now. Now, we were talking a little bit before, and I wanted to be able to get at least one of these things. You said state court is different than federal court.
Yes, that's true. I practice in the federal trial courts and in multiple state trial courts. Federal trial courts all use the same rules of civil procedure. They all use the same rules of evidence. The local rules for federal judges are very similar wherever you practice in the United States. Individual state court rules are, boy, it's a pony ride is what it is. Like I showed up in New York to try this case, and we went into an assignment judge, and it was a cattle call. There was about 50 lawyers in this courtroom, and he'd call your case, ask you if you're ready to trial, and he'd say, okay, we're going to have this judge try your case. And we'll send him an email and tell him you're on your way up to his courtroom to try the case. The judge had never seen the case before, knew nothing about it. And this is quite unlike the permanently assigned federal court judge or permanently assigned judges in Maricopa County. And so you just walk in, and this is a judge who has absolutely no background in the case, doesn't know what it is, and you start absolutely from scratch. And in New York, there's no codified rules of evidence. You can't go to a rule book and say, well, here's the hearsay rule, Judge. It's this is an exception under Rule 804. There's no such rule in many state courts. In New York state courts, there are in federal courts. So, what
about here? I mean, is it different here?
Well, we have one of the finest judicial systems in the United States in Maricopa County. We have well over 100 judges who sit on the bench here, and we track the federal rules of procedure and the federal rules of evidence by and large. Some differences. And we also have permanently assigned judges, and very importantly for me, we have what's called a commercial court in Maricopa County. And these are judges who have expertise in the sorts of cases that I do, because what you don't want is a judge whose entire legal career has been as a public defender or a criminal prosecutor who's now trying to understand the economic loss rule and how it prevents damages in this breach of contract case.
Well, I tell you, that's right. If you are listening to this and you own a business or something that you're dealing with a business, you want to give him a call. That phone number is 602-256-9400. You also had a construction defect case that you wanted to kind of talk a little bit about.
I've done lots of construction defect litigation, some of it huge, involving millions and millions of dollars. But occasionally someone will come in with a bona fide complaint because they've got a contractor who has really fouled up. They are not being competent, and in the middle of the job, the client wants to fire the contractor, and they're talking to me about it. And I say, let's fire them. Let's get a new contractor. And they say, well, I want all my money back. I have to tell them it isn't going to happen, because life is not perfect. There are just bumps in the road, and sometimes you have to just take it. You're going to take a financial hit if in the middle of a construction job you fire the contractor, and to dream that life is perfect and you're going to get every nickel back from that contractor is wishful thinking.
Well, it's interesting. I love listening to you and all of your information that you have to give to people. It's really cool. But it isn't cool when somebody's going in and dealing with this. And I want people to understand, too, it doesn't matter what size your business is. It doesn't have to be a huge case, correct?
Yeah, it doesn't have to be. I mean, I'll take the $10,000 case as long as the client understands that I would rather not work and not be paid than not be paid for work.
There you go. But you want to have somebody who is going to be there for you on your side, and that's what they will do. Do you like mediation?
No.
Why did I not know that?
You want to know why?
Yeah, real quick.
Okay, real quick. Mediation is sort of a split the baby sort of deal. I don't want to split the baby. I want to win. I want to, if you'll forgive this vernacularism, I want to put a stake in the heart of the guy who has wronged my client. And mediation is more, let's split the baby and compromise and not bother to go to the courtroom. Well, I win in the courtroom. I've got an advantage there, so that's where I want to be, in front of the jury, because I can win it.
Write the number down. You never know when you need it, or if you do need them, give them a call now. 602-256-9400. You can see all about him on his website. It is Williams Mestaz, MESTAZ.com. You're going to get a free 1-hour look-see consultation from them. They work nationwide. 602-256-9400.